reason why I wrote this book. Basically, to share the knowledge that I have with 20 years of my work and studying with one of the greatest teachers in the world. And also to clear any misunderstanding of this work and to explain the features and the benefits of this work. Also, to explain the cause of hidden physical and emotional issues that people have and the problems and how they can be healed. I also want to explain that sexual organs are part of our holistic body. It should not be separated for religious and cultural reasons. Now let's look at the problems that we have. What are the main reasons women come to see me? Some of the problems they have is loss of interest in sex. They got difficult to experience an orgasm. Intercourse is painful, unable to experience amrita, which is the Sanskrit word for female ejaculation. Vaginism is an involuntary muscle contraction that has happened due to trauma. Fear of sex, fear of intimacy, fear of falling in love. Unable to find a suitable partner, or if you find a partner, to keep the partner. Unable to speak the truth to solve their problems. Feeling insecure, unable to trust, lack of confidence. Unhappy with their body, some have got addiction problems. Emotional stress, body aches, insomnia, and so forth. Why would couples come to see me? They come to see me because they are insecure, loss of trust with the partner, lack of sex, lack of intimacy, loss of love, lack of communication, so they are unable to solve their problems. After menopause, after childbirth, after surgery or medication, and sex and aging. So these are some of the reasons why couples come to see me. Why men go to see us? They have erection dysfunctions, premature ejaculation problems, sexual inexperience, inhibited ejaculation, sexual pornography or other addictions, perversion, seeking love and intimacy, and other sexual issues. So these are the common problems that the society have, and is vast. What is the cause of these problems? The cause is due to physical and emotional toxins that get stagnant in your body. There are two types of toxins. Toxins due to what we eat, drink, and breathe. And these toxins get stored inside our cell, blocking our blood flow, energy flow, not providing enough oxygen, nutrition, not removing enough toxins from the cells. So that's the physical toxins that produce this block. And the second toxic is emotional toxics due to various belief systems, trauma, sexual abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse. So these things cause emotional toxins. These two toxins together in our body make our body into an acidic environment. When the body is in an acidic environment, it is a place for parasites, bacteria, viruses, and cancer to grow. If we can change our body environment from an acidic environment to an alkaline environment, none of these things can grow, research shows, including cancer and parasites and viruses. So we can lead a healthy life by just changing our body environment from an acidic environment to an alkaline environment. Now let's have a look how the sexual organs get blocked. Sexual organs are no different to any other organs, whether you call it kidneys, liver, heart, lungs. All these organs get blocked exactly the same way, but I will address the sexual organs because it's a very important part of our body. Organs can get blocked with blocked capillaries. If you take a hair follicle and divide it into 50 pieces, that's the size of a capillary. And only one blood cell can go through this capillary. So imagine, due to sedimentation in the capillary, if you have the tiniest block because of what we eat, drink or breathe, then even one blood cell cannot go through this capillary. So therefore, our blood volume reduces, the amount of blood that goes to the sexual organ reduces. That is the main problem for our dysfunction sexually, because there is not enough blood volume, there is not enough hormones, there is not enough toxins being removed from the sexual organs. Now with the body work that we do, we can address this issue and we can increase the blood flow from the capillaries by doing a method called pulsing, very ancient technique. The next problem we have is knots and tangle formation due to stresses in our life or due to trauma. The body is liquid. It's only the skin is holding us. If the skin is not there, we'll be just flowing. It's liquid. So the body is actually inside is like a jelly, and when the jelly is subject to any sudden trauma, it forms tangles and knots. And when you have a tangle and a knot, inside this it encapsulates an emotion to form this knot. So as you can see, the knot there is a mixture of a lot of capillaries, nerves, ligaments, tendons and so forth, which is also going to block the circulation and the energy flow into the sexual organs. So these are the two problems that can cause to block the sexual organs. If you can see the picture here, you can see a lot of blood vessels going into the sexual organs, and if these things get blocked, if there is not enough blood going into the system, if there are knots and tangles, just like you find in your neck or head, you'll have the knots, and these are the knots because of emotions or physical problems that can get blocked. So these things has to be removed with actual massages, with touch. It cannot go away any other way. You have seen already what problems you can have, any hormone imbalances in the sexual organs due to blocks in the capillaries. So now let's talk about the emotional blocks. Our body is made like an onion with layers and layers of emotions. The day we were born, we were very positive and we were subject to different trauma, and we then put layers of emotions. And these emotions are stored in 3 different levels. One is in the skin, and one is in the extrinsic muscles where you can touch, and the others are inside the body, intrinsic muscles where you cannot touch. When you see people in the society, you will see a face smiling, pretending, but actually inside the body is a complete different story, because this person could be very angry or sad or jealous or fearful. So what we see from outside is really an illusion. It is not the truth. To know the truth, you need to go inside the person's body, beyond the truth, beyond the illusion, to find out who they are. We've done some mapping. So they have mapped out how the different emotions get stored in different parts of the body. So for example, happiness and love, that can be stored in the whole body. The love is on the upper part of the body. So like this, different types of emotions get stored in different parts of the body, according to the research done. Also, if an organ is moved from one person to another, the cellular memory still remains. So as you can see here, a woman who was terrified of heights, when she was given a lung of a mountain climber, she was not scared of heights. Also, a 7-year-old girl had nightmares because she had a transplant of her heart of a person who has been killed. And also, another person liked to eat chocolates because he got another organ from a 14-year-old boy who liked chocolates. There is a photograph that it's called PIP, polycontrast interference photograph. These images, it can take an image of our body vibrations. So if somebody is very angry, very sad, the body will vibrate in a very dark color. But if somebody is very loving and kind, that person's vibrations will be a very lighter color. So by comparing the two colors, darker and the lighter color, you can establish what sort of an emotional or physical problem the person has. Now I will show you how the brain and the cells in our body works. The problems that we have, a lot of people think it's in the mind. It is not in the mind. The problems we have are in the body, in the cellular memory. All the trauma gets stored in the body cellular memory. Imagine that we have a negative cell with lots of sadness, and these negative cells tells the hypothalamus to the brain, please give me sad events, sad jobs, sad relationships, sad homes, sad situations, because I'm hungry. So the brain works out and provides everything the cell wants to make the person sad. I have no idea why the God has made this way, but this is how it works. That's the reason a person who is negative will always stay negative for the rest of their life. No matter what you do to them, they will not change. Same way, the positive person will have a lot of happiness, trust, love, peace, pleasure in their body. And they will send messages to the brain every day, every second, please give me pleasure, give me happiness, give me love, give me a smile. That person is always happy. That person will never change. Nothing can give him stress because the person is positive. So now, the positive mind always sees an opportunity in every disaster, whereas the negative mind sees a disaster in every opportunity. Some of my clients can't even remember what happened to them. They don't even know why they have to come to see me. When I ask them, what happened to you? Don't know. I only feel the symptoms. I don't know what happened to me. That's because you dissociate and disconnect the trauma so that you can live your life. Imagine if you have to get angry and sad and fearful every day when every trauma happens, then of course you can't live. So we have our body tranquilizers so that can suppress our trauma and emotions and bury them so that we can live our life as if nothing has happened to us. But the emotions are still intact in our body cellular memory. They haven't gone anywhere. Even though we have suppressed our emotions and the trauma, they haven't left our body. They are still in our body cellular memory. That makes you uncomfortable. It makes you difficult. From time to time, you feel emotional, you feel lonely, you feel fearful, you feel insecure. These things happen because of the inside emotions that are locked in our cellular system. So when you have discomfort, what you do is you need to do something to comfort yourself. What comforts you is drugs, alcohol, smoking, antidepressants if you go to a doctor, painkillers if your body is in pain, sleeping pills if you can't sleep. Comfort food is a growing industry, junk food industry, because we need to satisfy these people who are emotionally traumatized. Retail therapy, everything is bought on emotions. Gambling if you are insecure, cosmetic surgery, sex and porn. These are all multi-million industries. What we are trying to do is we are trying to comfort the people who have suppressed their emotions. So everybody is supporting, all the authorities, the industry, everybody is supporting. They love this situation, makes money. But the emotion still stays intact and the person is still suffering inside. Breaking marriages, suffering. The body natural reaction, how it deals with the emotions if you haven't done anything about it. The body manifests emotions into physical pain. This is the time you have headaches, stomach ache, aches, shoulder aches, neck ache. Different parts of the body start becoming painful because emotions manifest into physical pain. This is the time you normally go to the doctor and say, I got some pain. They give you painkillers to suppress the pain, not to remove the emotions. So sometimes people don't do anything about the physical pain. They ignore the pain. And the body natural way to deal with the physical pain is to make the body go numb, because our body is capable of dealing with pain without any outside substances. How it deals is by shutting down the body and making the body go numb. So the good thing is you don't feel the pain, but the bad thing is you don't feel the pleasure either. So no matter what happens to your body, you have lost your sensations, so you don't feel the pleasure because the body has gone numb. It is the numb body, when you completely shut down, that can create dysfunctions, illnesses and cancer tumors and so forth. And normally when people get to this stage, that they start becoming spiritual. Not until then. When something happens to them really strong, they start waking up, wow, I need to do something about this. But the good thing is, our body is capable, even at this stage, to reverse the process by getting in touch with their emotions that are stuck in our body. And this is the work that I do, helping the person at this stage or at any of these stages to help them to evoke their emotions and let go. And by doing that, you can reverse this entire process and go back to your origin that when you were born with. You can see the root chakra is the place where the sexual energy starts, and it starts moving through to your body. There are 7 gateways that can block your system. Imagine that if you have a partner that you have fallen in love, your heart is open, and then that person have broken your heart, so your heart got closed. And imagine you making love to a person with a broken heart, you will not have an orgasm. Why not? Because the energy cannot move any further than the heart. So like that, if you open all these channels, that's all you need to do. What's blocking these channels are emotions, negative emotions, your fear, shame, guilt, culture, religious beliefs. If you remove all these emotions that's blocking your energy flow, orgasm is something that just happens to you naturally. We don't need anything to do that. Now let's find out, in our society, we got 2 problems. Men takes only 30 seconds to 7 minutes to orgasm. Women take 30 minutes to 60 minutes to orgasm. This is a big problem, because how can 2 people to be happy in this situation? We need to find out where the problem is. They both have a problem here. We need to train the man to prolong. We need to make the woman make this shorter. Then we have a good match. Now let's have a look at what is blocking this orgasm. The problem is in a very small gland called prostate. Male has a prostate, female has a prostate. In this small prostate, we hold not just the sexual trauma and sexual emotions. 80% of our trauma is stored in this place. Some of the traumas that can block the prostate: strict upbringing where sexuality is viewed negatively. This is common everywhere. When the religion and the cultural beliefs, they suppress sexuality. Sex is sin. It's not a pleasurable thing. Physical, psychological, sexual abuse in the childhood is a one big problem that can block the prostate. Sexual intercourse women have every day without any foreplay. And every time you have sex, when you don't want it, you are traumatizing the prostate and you're shutting the prostate down. Failing to reach an orgasm or faking an orgasm is another block. Cesareans, hysterectomy, making love when you don't feel like it. Accident, illnesses, operations. Guilty masturbation as a child. A child is exploring their sexuality. They don't know anything about this subject. But somebody says, don't do it. Put shame on the person. The child grows up with that trauma. Having abortions and miscarriages, they are trauma. These are the things that can block the prostate, and also it can be very easily removed. I work directly on the body, help the client to evoke their traumas and emotions, and I help to release them. And the emotions leave the body forever, making them free, positive, and healthy. The solutions we have, very simple. Imagine every cell in our body, we got trillions of cells in the body. It's like a box. This box gets filled in with emotions as a result of trauma throughout our life from the time we are born. My body work is so simple, I am only opening the lid of this box. That's all I do with the client. I don't fix them, I don't heal them. I can't. But what I can do is I can help the client to lift the lid in this box. And as soon as I lift the lid, the emotions start pouring out from their body, every box. And after 3 days, the lid gets closed again. Every time they have a session, they start releasing emotions from the body. This work is as simple as that. Now, it is true that I massage the Yoni. Yoni is the Sanskrit word for vagina. Let me explain what do I do with a vaginal massage, because this is not something that's done in a normal beauty salon or in a massage clinic. Let me take this vagina into a map, put it out into a map. I find there are 4 types of points that I work on. One point is a pleasure point that they were born with. If you led a spiritual, non-traumatic life, all your yoni points would be extremely pleasurable. But some of these pleasure points have turned into emotional points. So when I touch these different points in the yoni, you might feel sad or fearful or angry. So that's the second point in yellow color. And the third color is the pink color. When the emotions get manifest into physical pain, if you had abortions, if you have operations, if you have sexual abuse, then you will have burning sensation, cutting sensation, you'll have physical pain, thumping sensation, irritation. You will have this kind of pain in the yoni. This is not due to friction. This is the actual pain that is there. Emotions manifest into physical pain. And there's a fourth button is created when you haven't done anything about the physical pain. The yoni goes into numbness. So therefore, no matter what you do, nothing happens to you because you have shut down, you have gone completely numb. The nice thing about this work is, emotional detox work, is that the numb yoni, through a little bit of pain, we can release emotions through a liquid called amrita in Sanskrit. This has been practiced for thousands and thousands of years. This is not something that I brought up. When you release amrita through this transition period of emotion, from the pain to the emotional release, this is the time you actually detox your yoni to release negativity from the yoni, to make the yoni more positive and sensitive. What are the challenges that I am faced? What are the challenges that I am faced with this emotional detox work? One of the biggest problem is, why have the God created this male and female prostate in the genital area? Because if it was in the neck or and behind the ear, it could have been, my work would be very easy. What a problem we have. Because can we go and ask women, I'll do a vaginal massage for you? It's impossible, very difficult. I again don't know why the God has put this organ into the sexual organs. I have no idea. Makes it our work very difficult. A woman has to really feel the pain so much to have this treatment done with us. They have gone to, my clients have been to every different method of treatment, and they haven't had any help, and they come to me. It is risky to come to a man. It is risky to come to me personally, but they decide to come to me because they have no options. And once they come, they are extremely happy, and they send their friends and relatives to me. That's how I have got a successful, busy practice. The other problem is, genital area is not recognized as part of the body. Every science, medical book shows it is part of our body. It's made with the same flesh, same muscles, same nerves, same circulation, same blood. But people think it's not. They think it's something outside their body, their genital area. Who has done this? The religion and the culture. As we develop our culture and the religion, we stay further away from nature. We dissociate ourselves. That's why we have many problems, depression, cancer, obesity, that animals don't have. Animals in the jungle are extremely healthy because they are close to the nature. And the other problem we have is, the Tantra and massage is viewed as a sexual act and not a therapeutic or a healing act. That's another big misunderstanding that led me to write this book, hoping a lot of people will be here to listen to what I have to say. Because they think it is a sexual act. We may be touching the genital area, but trust me, it is an emotional act, not a sexual act. People cry to release their emotions when I have the treatment. That is the work that I do. Women don't come to me to have an orgasm. They come to me to release their negative, stagnant trauma embedded in their body, cellular memory. And also, it is the sexual acts that has caused the most trauma in the society, and it evokes their own emotions, fears, shame, guilt when you address this issue. So these are the challenges that I have. They cannot understand how this work can heal them, open them and help them and make them healthy. They cannot understand. Only person who can understand is if you have had a treatment from me. Then you will understand what I am talking about. Negative emotions are stored in the body cellular memory, makes it uncomfortable for people to address these issues because there's a lot of mistrust, a lot of fear, a lot of shame that has put to you because of sexuality right from your childhood. Why people come to me? If you have a look at this work like a triangle here, there's a client who has been traumatized. There's a therapist. I act as a catalyst. There's a client's trauma, her inner child, her past memories. Now, because she's disconnected from the past, she can never access this trauma by herself. It's the very trauma that she never wants to know about it, think about it, feel about it. So she dissociates. That's the problem that she cannot access by herself. If she can access by herself, our body, we can self-heal any trauma, any illness. But because the trauma dissociates us, will not take us to the trauma to remove the trauma. We have to go inside the trauma to remove it. We can't work from outside. We have to go inside the trauma. We have to meet the trauma. We have to meet the fear. Then only we can evoke and release. So what I do is I act as a catalyst. Now, how do I take this client into the journey for the first time that I meet her? There are two ingredients that I use. I love her as nobody else has loved her in her entire life in that moment. And I earn her trust as no other human being has earned her trust. I do this within 6 hours. I earn her trust and love. These are the two ingredients that she gives me her hand, to hold her hand, to take her on the journey. If I cannot earn that, I would not be able to take her on the journey. If she had trusted another human being more than I did, she would have already released Amrita. She would have been knowing how to heal herself. Now, once I take her on the journey, I go right inside the trauma. She will re-experience whatever the trauma she is experienced before. This is the hard part. She will re-experience the trauma. And after re-experience the trauma, I will slowly bring her back again to where she is. Empowering her, giving her tools for the little child, making her feel safe and sacred. And that is the journey that I take with the bodywork that I do. Once I take her back, once the session is finished, this lid that is open will stay open for about 2 or 3 days. For 2 or 3 days, you will release emotions. Not even during the time that I do the treatment. For 2 or 3 days, emotion starts releasing.